The Congressional Budget Office says the federal debt is expected to reach or exceed 100% of the gross domestic product. The last time we saw this happen was back in 1946, after years of military spending to win World War II. The cause now, massive stimulus spending and reduced tax revenue in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Policymakers approving roughly $2.7 trillion in spending since March. At the same time, federal revenue fell 10% from April through June compared to a year earlier. What's more, from March to June, the debt swelled by 16%, nearly $3 trillion. Economists say that stimulus was necessary to keep the economy afloat, and more is needed. Dr. Stephen Skanke is Chief Economic Advisor at the wealth management and investment firm Keel Point.
Right now, it's a boost that helps keep the economy recovering and certainly keeps stock markets soaring.
But in the long term, it's harmful to economic growth.
It tends to impede economic growth. The expected rate of annual economic growth will just be less.
The gap expected to grow as Congress and the White House eye another round of stimulus. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says he's willing to sit down with Congress and negotiate a new spending bill to help struggling families and businesses. But the price tag is an issue. House Democrats say they'll settle for a $2.2 trillion bailout, more than twice the amount of a Republican bill in the Senate.
I do not support $2.2 trillion, but what's more important is what is the breakdown in getting money to American workers, American families, kids, where we can agree on money.
Despite a struggling economy, the stock market is going strong, and positive news on the vaccine front Wednesday pushed it even higher. After the CDC notified states to be ready for a vaccine by November, the Dow closed over 29,000 points for the first time since February. The S&P and NASDAQ also hit new highs. The exploding national debt could have severe long-term consequences, turning the U.S. into a debtor nation. The debt dragging down the economy and affecting our standard of living, and possibly weakening other countries' perception of the dollar, eventually ending its role as the reserve currency of the world. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.